I don't think that people are faulting people for loving Pride. People are fighting people because they're allowing these corporations to come in and co-opt the narrative, and they're allowing them to set the agenda and to determine what issues are important and which ones aren't. And a lot of it has to do with money, because the LGBTQ community in 2017, we had a spending power of $917 billion, and then it went over $1 trillion, but the transgender community makes less than $10,000 a year. And because there is no return on investment to some of these corporations, they're not spending time on our issues. And so we're tired of being puppets to the propaganda. We're tired of being ignored and told that we have no room in the space that we helped build. We're tired of being told that we should just stop complaining and that we should be grateful that, you know, we can get married. Because for some of us, it's not even about sexuality. In fact, the trans community and intersex is one of the few identities that has nothing to do with the person's sexuality.
True.
Yeah. It's about gender identity even. So again, we just need to stand up, do better, no more excuses, because if they come for me in the morning, they're gonna come for you in the evening.
And that's what went back to my point about the guy in the corner, is just that they're getting you now, but it's only
gathered.
Yeah, exactly. It's only a quick second until they say, oh, you're next.
Yeah, but the consciousness has to be that it's your own self-interest. That diversity and protecting diversity is in your own self-interest. I mean, when the political debate becomes about education or healthcare, it's not in my best interest to be surrounded by sick, uneducated people. And it's not in our best interest as an LGBTQ community to have this kind of economic disparity, to have this kind of discrimination in housing, to have these issues of where not all of us are safe. Because if it's okay to beat the shit out of and murder that certain segment, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, I'm not a big hand holder. I hold hands at Disneyland and on this show.
But not in real life?
But not in real life,
well, the thing is that we're surprising.
Alec, come on.
I think the issue
Wilson Cruz and I were on Crescent Heights at Sunset years ago, just getting out of a movie, and faggot, the truck raced past, and we were like, oh, whatever, faggot. But the beer bottle whizzed past us and smashed on the thing right behind us, and we were like, what? And then somebody the following week said, oh my God, that happened to me too. So there's somebody who goes up and down Sunset Boulevard,
well, not only
targeting gay national treasures, and it's wrong.
That happens every single day, though, for some of us. In fact, there was a study that was done by Southerners on New Ground in the Transgender Law Center, and 46% of trans people said that they experience high levels of violence on a daily basis.
Oh, absolutely.
And so the thing is that what I feel honestly is that this bouginess in the LGBTQ community is tired sometimes. It's exhausting because many of us are subscribing to these respectability politics authored by people that will not respect you. And we see the way that that's looking under the current administration. So I think that we need to get our stuff together. We need to come back to our roots. We need to stop demonizing people for responding to their oppression. And we need to realize that it's either all of us or none of us, because your most fiercest warriors are gonna be the people that have nothing to lose but life itself.
Right, that's what you were saying earlier, Justin. It's like
and you see, not to kind of belabor the point, but you see how quickly the tide turns. I mean, we're talking about 2.5 years into an administration. Look at the trans rights that have been ripped away from people. Look at the adoptive rights that have been ripped away from people. Look at the far right in Europe and how they're already demonizing gay and trans people.
The Pope.
I mean, look,
or the Vatican. The Vatican.
I mean, we didn't touch on the Vatican about how they're trying
to. We need to, because I don't need a cisgender man in a dress and jewels telling me how I get to show up into the world.
I believe that the world was fat.
Oh my gosh.
No. Well, I mean, so let's touch on the Vatican issued an official document Monday rejecting the idea that people can choose or change their genders, and is insisting on a complementary. It's a word.
Complementary.
Complementary. Yes, of men and women to make babies. It's called the male and female he created them, which is intended to help Catholics address what the Vatican's congregations called an educational crisis in the field of sex education.
Don't they have bigger fish to fry?
I can't believe I couldn't say that word here on the Young Turks. Good morning.
I feel like, don't they have bigger fish to fry? I mean, with all of the sex abuse lawsuits, it's like, why'd you clean up the little serial rapist backyard?
They're ordering them not to go to Pride. Right, they're saying it can't go to Pride, but
Because it's
Pride is
harmful to
much
children,
safer.
yeah.
But it's much safer than some of these churches.
Gender fluidity is, according to the Vatican, is a confused concept of freedom and of momentary desires.
No,
Got it.
I think I, as somebody who grew up Catholic, I would say very politely, I would imagine that God may have more imagination than the Pope.
I'm gonna say not so
might wanna
politely
vary it
that I'm gonna say not so politely that oftentimes, even throughout history, religion oftentimes, when used wrong, can be a form of psychological and emotional manipulation.
So it's weaponized. Yes.
It really, really is. And I'm trying to figure out at what point we're gonna return to the separation of church and state. I'm a spiritual person, but I believe that my own personal beliefs should not inform my ability to treat someone with dignity and respect. And I think that we need to get to a place where we aren't allowing one specific bubble of people to hijack our values and influence our laws and our protections.
Yeah, this whole thing seems like a big distraction on their part.
Yeah, and the word was complementary. Complementarity. Sorry.
Give me that. Where? Point it out.
It's right here. Complementarity.
Come on, logo.
Not complimentary. I know what complimentary means. Complementarity.
Sexual complementarity.
Yes.
Oh.
It's
Complementarity.
There we go.
The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.